Everybody was merrily chatting and enjoying time away from their chores as Shinichi and Mackay prepared themselves for their harmonic bonding ceremony. Not all the festivals celebrated in the Order of Harmony were as serious as the Harmonic Ascension or Harmonic Passage, and on this wedding occasion, joy was in the air. Choosing a partner to bond with for life was a sacred thing that brought order to the tribe and harmony for those within the partnership. It was also tradition that, before the harmonic bonding, couples would not share each other's beds. That particular tradition seemed absurd to the guests that followed the Yataki Creed, and to them it was no surprise that both Shinichi and Mackay were excited for their momentous day. Of course, during the chitter at the ceremony, there was plenty of opportunities to share views and thoughts everyone had of the world around them, and whilst difficulties such as danger and hunger hadn't hesitated to rear their ugly heads, bigotry never did. In the tribe before, it had been passed down for generations to venerate the mighty wolf of the forest, where spilling their blood was a heretical act. It was said that the wolf reflects what a community should aspire to, a group of strong and united individuals. Although it did also make sense to tell everyone not to spill the blood of wolves just to stop some idiots from getting eaten. So, when the passing traders from Rainbeam left a timber wolf dying just outside the walls of the hamlet, Vix rescued the animal and nursed it back to health. Vix had always lived with death, yet rather than having had the effect of building resilience, it had haunted her. Vix's first experience with death was her family's tribe when she was so young she barely remembered. Then it was the tribe before, and now it was here. Vi and Squowen had passed away. Losing the two individuals with talent in animal husbandry was a great loss to the tribe and a personal failure on Vix's own part when her skills in medicine were insufficient to save Vi. Instead, they had missed a chance to meet a mighty Thrumbo. The adult Muffalos were butchered out of necessity, and they would never live alongside the hardy wolf. When Shinichi finished the Sentinel of the Pathfinder statue, a great wave of anxiety filled the heads of all males at Redpine Valley. Shinichi had imbued the sculpture with his deepest emotions, and this had presumably caused some far-off being to become enraged and punish them with a low psychic drone. The old dirt mole was dusty in person and personality. He delivered his sermons with residue of wood shavings and rock dust under his claws, and did so with the temperament of a tired librarian. Shinichi had carved the image of Shorty's injury, where the boy had been terribly disfigured. Was the psychic torture his final penitence? Had he brought more shame to the tribe by inflicting this not only on himself, but also the boy? Shorty was still recovering from his psychite addiction and needed no further cause for pain. Fortunately, everyone else staying at the valley was female, except Billy. Whether Billy's injuries would make him resistant or susceptible to further psychic strain, Shinichi did not know. He often found himself not knowing things that a true harmonic elder would. With 3 guests and 2 prisoners, there were more people staying at Redpine Valley who were not part of the tribe than who were. The most charismatic of the guests, Shepherd, was given freedom to barter for the tribe, and as winter drew to a close, there were plenty of opportunities for this. The planet's surface was dotted with hamlets, villages, settlements and communes from the 9 main factions that dwelt on Rim, as well as many other smaller groups. This resulted in frequent visitors passing through Redpine Valley. Many simply needed a place to safely rest, but there were also passing traders and caravans that bought and sold all manner of things. On one occasion, almost all of Shinichi's artwork was traded for an assault rifle. As for Shepherd, she had been raised in a cult, but had left with Mew and Cupcake following a moral dispute. Whatever the greater collective believed at the visitor's old home, Shepherd never spoke of it, though Shinichi suspected that he would not approve, given how kind-hearted Shepherd herself was. It was looking more and more likely that Billy could not stay at the colony. He was unyielding, and it would even be appropriate to call him headstrong, were it not for the brain damage that had resulted from Shinichi's psychic attack with the shock lance. It would be the best decision to let Billy leave with any passing caravan that would take him, rather than have him stay here. Keeping prisoners was a difficult decision for the tribe to make. None of the colonists, permanent residents or otherwise, were particularly versed in the skills needed of a jailer or warden. However, letting the prisoners leave was surely a death sentence, either for the released that would have to face the unrelenting winter landscape with their injuries, or for the tribe should the released survive to further alert the wider world to their presence. The building of the temple at Redpine Valley had already spanned many seasons, and for it to be truly finished would likely take many seasons more. As winter passed into spring, the growing shrine had already outlived a number of those that had celebrated within it. The guests' contribution to the construction was unexpected and significant, which only demonstrated the virtues of their own belief. Cupcake spent many hours cutting marble chunks into usable bricks for herself and McKay to use on building the Pulpit of Order, a huge platform for keepers of unity and harmonic elders to guide harmonists in the way of their ideology and to direct collective endeavours for the betterment of all. The platform would not be needed at the Festival of Invigoration, but it would give weight and gravitas to the spectacle. The visitors hoped to impress their hosts by building the monument, and the tribe wanted to finish it to impress their guests. In the days leading up to the Festival of Invigoration, many of the crops had already been planted. The ceremony was all about growth. The growth of the crops that would bring prosperity, and the growth of the individual that would be needed to reap them. On the 6th of September, a final push was made to complete the Pulpit of Order, and the guests were moved out of the temple and each given their own room. Cupcake gave the honour of finishing the monument to McKay, which took her into the late hours of the night. The offer for the guests to host a pre-festival party and the excitement of having a Pulpit of Order led Shinichi to the decision to delay the festival until past midnight. However, the party was spoiled by Vix, who lost her temper. She ranted about their losses and how those that pass on could never grow again, inciting guilt in the onlookers and insulting them as she did. Shinichi instructed the party to stop, and for all those to retire to their rooms for 1 hour to cool their heads before the festival could begin. At the Festival of Invigoration, a chosen few would play drums in an effort to fill participants with enduring vigour in the days to follow, imbue the crops with health, and make people dance. Many older members of the tribe before believed this quite literally, as if spiritual energy infused the roots and stems of the budding plants in the field. Although, this year you wouldn't have blamed anyone for thinking this way, when one of the planet's moons, as if by marching to the beat of the drums, eclipsed the sun, and, enraged, the sun spat a solar flare into space. Shinichi believed that this combined cosmic spectacle at the moment of the festival must have given pause to the guests, as they surely could not help but be enchanted with the Order of Harmony. However, he too was enchanted, for on the same day a psychic soothe, once again affecting only males in the valley, had been activated by some far-off entity. It is good to look at the world and try to make sense of it, but much of the time our small frame of reference leads us to misinterpret the clues that are laid before us. One such misjudgment was expressed in the quality of this year's festival, as Shinichi had appointed Vix as the lead drummer to help her grow the most out of the celebration. But Vix was already feeling catharsis after her outburst, and it soon became clear that she lacked the rhythm or ear to tune in with her partners in the drum circle. This led to a broken beat and boring occasion. Perhaps many were simply overtired. Though the tribe would have to hope that they had been invigorated, as there was clearly need for more energy to tackle the challenges and dangers that had yet to come. I was worried that this stupid wolf was going to end up eating one of the colonists, because he was hanging around for ages, but luckily in the end he did wander out the paddock. Let's see, by the end of the Festival of Invigoration, the colony had survived 55 days.